May I have your attention, please? Good morning, graduates, friends and honoured guests. My name is Donald McEwen. I'm chaplain to the university, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this graduation ceremony at the University of St Andrews on this exciting day for you. Presiding at today's graduation ceremony is the Chancellor, Dame Anne Pringle. This ceremony is taking place in the Younger Hall, officially opened in 1929. The Younger Hall is the university's venue for graduations and most formal ceremonies. In a few moments, the academic procession will enter the hall, and to welcome the academic procession, St Sylvester's Chapel Choir will lead us in singing the Gaudeamus. Please do join in. The words can be found in your programme. Now, should the fire alarm sound, please remain seated. The alarm will be silenced and staff will immediately investigate the cause. Should an evacuation be necessary, the alarm will then sound continuously and you'll be advised of the need to evacuate. Staff will direct you accordingly. Please follow staff direction and leave the hall by the most appropriate exit. In the unlikely event of any other form of disruption that requires action, an announcement will be made from this stage to advise you on any actions we need to take. Staff will be on hand to assist us. Please follow their instructions. Now, at the end of the graduation ceremony, all our new graduates will join the academic procession, leaving the Younger Hall and walking along North Street and entering St Sylvester's Quadrangle through the archway. To supporters, please wait until all our new graduates have left the hall. Ushers will then show you to the nearest exits. Outside, you will be directed to the quad where you'll be able to join our new graduates. Please ensure your mobile phone is switched off or at least is on silent. You are welcome to take pictures and video, but please stay seated to do so. And now, to capture this unique moment, our official photographer will take a picture of those graduating today before the ceremony begins.
Good morning. You ready for this? And you like my camera? I can see everybody in the hall, so there's no hiding place. Okay, let's see your smiles. Superb, very nice. There we go. Come on, a wee bit happier. Excellent. That's superb. Thank you very much. Congratulations and enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoy the graduation ceremony. As you're able, please rise for the Gaudeamus. Oremus. Omnipotens et aeterni Deus, actiones nostras omnes aspirando praeveni, et adjuvando prosequere, ut cuncta nostra operatio, et praesertim hoc quod nunc agridimur opus, a te incipiat, et per te quetum finiatur. Quotenus sanctum nomen tuum glorificemus, et misericordia tua vitam aeternam consequamur, per Iesum Christum Dominum nostrum. Amen.
Please be seated. I call upon the principal of the university.
Good morning, everyone. It is my happy duty as Principal and Vice-Chancellor to welcome you all to this summer graduation ceremony at the University of St. Andrews. I am delighted that all of you can share in the joy of today's ceremony. Graduation is the highlight of our academic year. At these ceremonies, students are awarded their degrees and people of distinction are honoured. We orient our academic calendar around these celebrations, and they are a tradition that speaks to the heart of our institutional mission. It is also a pleasure to welcome you to the Younger Hall, a fitting setting for the celebration of our graduates' achievements. This well-loved venue has been the home of our graduation ceremonies since its initial opening in 1929. Today's graduands will cross the Younger Hall stage in a style that unites them with the students who, for almost a century, crossed it before them, and also, of course, with the students who crossed our stages in the 5 centuries before that. This year, however, marks a moment of significant transition for the University of St. Andrews. Many of you will know that our former Chancellor, the late Right Honourable Lord Campbell of Pittenweem, died in September of last year. His loss has been felt keenly across the university, where for nearly 20 years he served St. Andrews with a mixture of integrity and courtesy, leaving a lasting mark on our ceremonial life and on all who witnessed his steady and generous presence. We have since welcomed new stewardship. In February of this year, Dame Anne Pringle was elected to serve as our next Chancellor. A distinguished diplomat and former British ambassador to Russia, Dame Anne brings to the Chancellorship a wealth of experience, discernment, and public service of the highest order. Her ties to St. Andrews are both deep and enduring. As an alumna of this university, graduating with a Master of Arts with honours in French and German in 1977, and through her exemplary leadership as Senior Governor of the University Court from 2016 to 2020. It was therefore especially fitting that her installation as Chancellor should take place during Wednesday afternoon's ceremony in this week of celebration, where we gather to honour achievement, continuity, and renewal. In welcoming Dame Anne, we mark not only the beginning of a new chapter in our ceremonial life, but also the continuation of a tradition sustained by those who serve this university with distinction and care. The broader graduation tradition which we observe today has indeed taken place at St. Andrews since the 2nd decade of the 15th century, when the university was founded, and some of the rituals that were established in the 1400s remain an integral part of the ceremony. These rituals honour our history and signify the assumption of each graduand's place within an institution that has done as much as any other to shape our modern world. We are Scotland's first and foremost university, the 3rd oldest in the English-speaking world and one of the 25 oldest still operating. Across 613 years, students and academics have gathered here to build and disseminate knowledge, and their ambition has proven resilient to the challenges mounted against them. The religious and political regimes that have reared and crumbled, the pandemics and wars that have beaten at the doors. Ours is not, however, a story of survival, but of leadership. St. Andrews has been at the vanguard of political, cultural, and intellectual developments since our inception, and our people have steered the hands of monarchs and parliaments since our earliest days. And we are now committed to securing the future of our institution for the next 600 years. This is the aim of the university's Making Waves campaign, launched in autumn 2024, and about which you can find out more in your copy of today's programme. Universities are, by their nature, institutions of forward progress, and we perennially look to the future so that our research and our graduates serve the world with maximum effect. But so too do we cherish our history, which chronicles how similar our activities are, in many respects, to the time of our foundation, and which also reveal the ways in which our teaching and activities have adapted to ensure that our university is not subservient to history, but instead creates it. Students of 15th century St. Andrews learnt primarily through lengthy orations delivered by their masters and instructors, often in the teacher's private residence, as part of a curriculum focused on logic, metaphysics, and ethics, all inspired by Aristotle. Speaking in the vernacular was forbidden, and teaching and conversation alike were conducted in Latin, which remained our official institutional language until 1747. Examinations took the form of a verbal interrogation by one's professors, and discourse could become so heated that students were known on occasion to descend into violence. Football and, astonishingly, golf were both banned in 15th century St. Andrews as they were deemed too distracting. But archery, an important skill for the defence of the realm, was promoted. This may have occasioned second thoughts in 1470, when, after an unresolved argument, the dean and members of the faculty were set upon by students with bows and arrows. Accounts show that in the 1540s, over a century after our foundation, student life in St. Andrews did evidence something more of the asceticism of a university founded within a religious capital. Students were awoken at 5 a.m., attended Mass at 6, started class at 7 with a lesson selected by the principal, and continued to learn until well into the evenings. Football was still banned, as now were, it will surprise no one, weapons, and the college strictly prohibited beards and certain groovy fashions. Women were also strictly forbidden, lest they, like football, should prove too distracting, with the exception of a single lawn dress, and that on the condition that she was over 50 years old. The severity of student life lessened in the 2 centuries that followed, and an increasingly modernized curriculum was enjoyed by some of the foremost luminaries of the time. Adam Ferguson, a renowned Enlightenment philosopher, graduated in 1742. James Wilson, a founding father of the United States, studied here from 1757 to 1761, and 2 eminent 18th century figures were awarded the degree of MD, or Doctor of Medicine, by the university: the French revolutionary Jean-Paul Marat in 1775, and in 1792, Edward Jenner, whose advancements in the prevention of smallpox pioneered modern immunology. Nonetheless, despite these highlights, the 18th century was not a period of growth in the university's history, with St. Andrews being described by one contemporary alumnus as a healthy, retired spot. Consequently, as the 1800s approached, pressure for organizational and curricular reform was mounting. Governmental reform by way of the Universities Scotland Act of 1858 introduced the organisational structures which remain mostly intact to this day. Women were admitted to full-time study in 1892, although St Andrews had enabled them to study remotely, but not to graduate, for 20 years prior through its establishment of the Lady Literate in Arts programme in 1872. By the 1900s, student life resembled many of our current graduands' experiences. One of the most memorable examples of this was the university's quincentenary celebrations of September 1911. Planning for the anniversary took 3 years and required the erection of a temporary venue to accommodate 3,500 guests. Garden parties spread across the town, representatives of 145 universities and learned societies visited, 100 honorary degrees were bestowed, and the town came to life with song and celebration. The Younger Hall was a happy outcome of these celebrations. It was built with a lead donation by Dr. James and Mrs. Annie Younger, members of the local St Andrews community, who provided £100,000 for the purchase of the site and the building's construction, around £9 million in current terms, and it was opened by Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, in June 1929. Its construction was, however, also supported by funds raised on an early subscription model in honour of the 1911 celebrations, and by which means contemporary alumni laid the foundation of a building that would be enjoyed by so many of their successors. It is their foresight to which the splendour of our current and recently enhanced surroundings is owed, and which our graduates will honour by leaving this hall and using their education to change the world for the better, as so many have done before them. Returning now to today's ceremony and the rituals which connect us to our forebears. The first of these you have already witnessed when St Salvator's Chapel Choir initiated proceedings with a rendition of the Gaudeamus, and the University Chaplain, the Reverend Dr. Donald McEwen, delivered the opening prayer. As Principal and Vice-Chancellor, it is my happy duty to welcome you all with this introduction to the ceremony, after which the presentation of degrees by the Chancellor, Dame Anne Pringle, will commence. The conferral of awards at bachelor's, master's, and doctoral level will constitute the core of this ceremony. This ceremony will also see the award of degrees in our 4-year graduate entry medical programme, ScotGem, or Scottish Graduate Entry Medicine, offered in partnership with the University of Dundee and the University of the West of Scotland. In recognition of the thoroughly collaborative nature of this programme, I am delighted to welcome colleagues and guests from both universities to today's ceremony, including Professor James Miller, Principal and Vice-Chancellor of the University of the West of Scotland. Among those students graduating from our School of Medicine, this ceremony will also see the award of our BSc Hons Medicine to students who will go on to complete their medical studies at our various partner institutions. These include around 40 students who will complete their medical studies with our partner medical school in Manchester, and around 14 Canadian students who will complete their medical degree with our partners at the universities of Edinburgh and of Alberta. In recognition, again, of the thoroughly collaborative nature of this programme, I am delighted to welcome today Professor Margaret Kingston from the School of Medical Sciences at the University of Manchester, and Professor Steve Caldwell from the Faculty of Medicine and Dentistry at the University of Alberta. Today, degrees are conferred both on those many students who are present and on the smaller number who are unable to attend and who are thus graduated in absentia. As that phrase indicates, these rituals are conducted partly in Latin, following St Andrew's tradition. For all the graduands listed in this ceremony, present or absent, the Chancellor will call upon the deans of the respective faculty and ask them to present each graduand for their award in turn, and she will then confer the degree with Latin phrases, one of which, for example, translates as, "I raise you to the rank of Master of Arts, and to symbolize this, I place upon you this cap." To most, though, the Chancellor will simply say, "Et super te," meaning, "and upon you too." The precise moment of graduation occurs when the graduate's cap, or birrettum, which the Chancellor will be utilizing, touches the head of the graduand. This academic cap has been used in every ceremony since December 1696, when it was acquired from a St. Andrew's tailor, and it symbolizes the ascension of our graduands into graduates and their assumption of an equal place within our alumni community. When the conferrals are complete, St. Salvator's Chapel Choir will return to deliver a musical interlude, and we are thankful both to the choir and their director, Claire Innes-Hopkins, for the felicity they bring to this occasion. We will then proceed directly to one of the highlights of these ceremonies, the presentation of honorary awards, with the conferral of an honorary doctorate upon today's guest of honor, Professor Sir Stephen Holgate. To close our ceremony, it is tradition to invite a member of the university to address our new graduates, wish them well as they progress to the next stage of their lives, and offer some final words of inspiration and congratulation. Today's guest speaker is Dr. Rebecca Walmsley from the School of Medicine. The ceremony will then conclude with the benediction and the graduation procession. At St. Andrews, the academics and professional staff who have supported you, our graduands, are immensely proud of your accomplishments. But this ritual does not mark the end of your association with St. Andrews. You are joining a vital community of alumni who have positively shaped the world around them for 613 years and who support one another in the present. So while you are graduating, you are not leaving our community, but taking the next step in your St. Andrews experience. And it is our sincere hope that you will continue to engage as a St. Andrean throughout your life.
Decanus Facultatis Medicinae.
Chancellor, I have the honor to present for the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honors, Grace Adesanya.
Te ad gradum baccalaureae scientiae promoveo, cuius rei in symbolum super te hoc birrettum impono.
Ruth Adler.
Et super te.
Ira Ahmed.
Et super te.
Harris Akhtar.
Et super te.
Omar Al-Jawabra.
Et super te.
Anna Alexiadou.
Et super te.
Sarah Ali.
Et super te.
Morgan Allen.
Et super te.
Kosidi Amechi.
Et super te.
Anoki Amuradasa.
Et super T.
Lucy Anderson.
Et super T.
Anastasia Andrushenko.
Et super T.
Augustina Ananyai.
Et super T.
Rahman Bashir.
Et super T.
Harry Beckett.
Et super T.
Millie Beeson.
Et super T.
Oswald Bemigo Amorigoje.
Et super T.
Neve Blakely.
Et super T.
Poppy Bullock.
Et super T.
Sophia Butt.
Et super T.
Matthew Carroll.
Et super T.
Mariana Siglarek.
Et super T.
Gabrielle Chan.
Et super T.
Jasmine Cheng.
Et super T.
Zoe Chin.
Et super T.
Yuna Chow.
Et super T.
Andrew Clark.
Et super T.
Jasper Clements.
Et super T.
Annabelle Coe.
Et super T.
Christy Cook.
Et super T.
Lucy Coots.
Et super T.
Abigail Davison.
Et super T.
Olympia de Maigret.
Et super T.
Olivia Deja.
Et super T.
Lucy DeStex.
Et super T.
Elena Diaz.
Et super T.
Freya Dixon.
Et super T.
Gurunek Desange.
Et super T.
Diana Dovgi.
Et super T.
Amelia Durward McLeod.
Et super T.
Isabella Equi.
Et super T.
Lena Fedlu.
Et super T.
Charlotte Flynn.
Et super te.
Oliver Forbes.
Et super te.
Belen Garay Galvez.
Et super te.
Ella Gargaritano.
Et super te.
Adelaide Gosling.
Et super te.
Jakub Grigiel.
Et super te.
Aditi Gudur.
Et super te.
Katie Hales.
Et super te.
Jiaying Han.
Et super te.
Scott Hardy.
Et super te.
Charlotte Harrand.
Et super te.
Azra Hassani.
Et super te.
Holly Heron.
Et super te.
Harry Hocking.
Et super te.
Chloe Hyun.
Et super te.
Darcy Hundleby.
Et super te.
Ahmed Imana.
Et super te.
Vera Kaganskaya.
Et super te.
Saeem Kardar.
Et super te.
Joshua Karski.
Et super te.
Amira Khatun.
Et super te.
Summer Kwan.
Et super te.
Hawa Laka.
Et super te.
Chris Lathan.
Et super te.
Xing Li.
Et super te.
Connor Little.
Et super te.
Kimberly Liu.
Et super te.
Thompson Louis.
Et super te.
Myron McBeth.
Et super te.
Amelia McFarlane.
Et super te.
Susan Mackey.
Et super te.
Rachel McLennan.
Et super te.
Sky McQueen.
Et super te.
Beth McRae.
super te.
Kiran Maharaj.
Et super te.
Minahil Mahmood.
Et super te.
Ana Marquez Silva.
Et super te.
Hannah Martin.
Et super te.
Sammy Mather.
Et super te.
Hannah Matthias.
Et super te.
Amy McCann.
Et super te.
Orla McDougall.
Et super te.
Layla McKinley.
Et super te.
Ramsey Meek.
Et super te.
Catherine Meller.
Et super te.
Amy Miller.
Et super te.
Hannah Milligan.
Et super te.
Anissa Mohammed.
Et super te.
Daisy Morton.
Et super te.
Max Morell.
Et super te.
Gabriel Mujai.
Et super te.
Mokshita Nagandla.
Et super te.
Sophie MacDonald Ness.
Et super te.
Charity Nyoka.
Et super te.
Catherine O'Flaherty.
Et super te.
Cynthia Aloju.
Et super te.
Angel Ong.
Et super te.
Louise Orr.
Et super te.
Rose Overton.
Et super te.
Megan Pays.
Et super te.
Devika Paniker.
Et super te.
Lemuel Pasquale.
Et super te.
Davina Patel.
Et super te.
Sanjana Patel.
Et super te.
Georgia Pohl.
Et super te.
Sophie Phillips.
Et super te.
Janie Pontiparax.
Et super te.
Thomas Potts.
Et super te.
Grace Priest.
Et super te.
Hannah Purton.
Et super te.
Walada Ramram.
Et super te.
Myra Rana.
Et super te.
Manasi Rao.
Et super te.
Holly Roberts.
Et super te.
Margot Royer.
Et super te.
Joaquin Sanchez Levine.
Et super te.
Iman Shahid.
Et super te.
Tia Amila Shiraz.
Et super te.
Zhang Sean.
Et super te.
Kira Simpson.
Et super te.
Adi Singh.
Et super te.
Paula Solana Bernal.
Et super te.
Freya Stafford.
Et super te.
Alethea Stevenson.
Et super te.
Amber Stevenson.
Et super te.
Ethan Strachan.
Et super te.
Emily Stribling.
Et super te.
Sarah Stubbs.
Et super te.
Shui Ern Tan.
Et super te.
Asto Tanaka.
Et super te.
Georgia Thacker.
Et super te.
Ina Tawana.
Et super te.
Axel Vandenunker.
Et super te.
Simone Vestigard Poulsen.
Et super te.
Macarena Villamor Para.
Et super te.
Pridja Wahi.
Et super te.
Dominic Waring.
Et super te.
Maria Warren Tiemann.
Et super te.
Ikal Warsami.
Et super te.
Rory Wasson.
et super te.
Rebecca Watson.
Et super te.
Bethan Williams.
Et super te.
Kelsey Wilson.
Et super te.
Libby Wise.
Et super te.
Tristan Wong.
Et super te.
Eric Warden.
Et super te.
Edison Yao.
Et super te.
Mohammed Yusuf.
Et super te.
Yuan Yu.
Et super te.
Raheel Zaidi.
Et super te.
Zoe Zanetta.
Et super te.
Chancellor, I ask you to confer the degree in absentia on Yasir Ahmed, Hugo Cather, Candice Cheung, Min Xiao Cho, Claudia Hui.
Eos absentes baccalaureus scientiae renuncio.
Chancellor, before the medical graduands are presented, I will ask them to assent to a declaration that they will maintain traditional standards of professional conduct. I am now addressing the students in the first 3 rows of the auditorium. These are our ScotGem medical graduands. Will these students now please stand? I will now read out the medical declaration. I solemnly promise to use, to the best of my knowledge and ability, the art and science of my profession for the good of those under my care, and to make the preservation and restoration of their health my constant aim. I shall keep secret anything I see or hear in my practice that should not be divulged. I shall constantly endeavour to improve my knowledge and skills within my profession and to share useful discoveries with my fellow practitioners whom I promise to hold in fraternal regard. These things I shall do for the benefit of those whom I seek to serve and for the honour of the profession that I now join. I will now ask if you are willing to make this promise. If you are, you should answer with "I do." Do you make this promise? Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, Flora Adam.
te ad gradum medicinae baccalaureae atque chirurgiae baccalaureae promoveo, cuius re in symbolum super te hoc biretum impono.
Ayman Ahmed.
Et super te.
Emily Baldwin.
Et super te.
Nathan Birch.
Et super te.
Lily Bishop.
Et super te.
Luke Boy.
Et super te.
Hannah Brooke.
Et super te.
Bianca Chu.
Et super te.
Alicia Cole.
Et super te.
Emily Connors.
Et super te.
Matthew Cormack.
Et super te.
Tobias Corser.
Et super te.
Jade Coupland.
Et super te.
Victoria Cowie.
Et super te.
Jessica Cox.
Et super te.
Anna Darrach.
Et super te.
Khaled De Jesus.
Et super te.
Christian Dipros.
Et super te.
Megan Drotter.
Et super te.
Deborah Duru.
Et super te.
Valentine Ezzy.
Et super te.
Rebecca Ferguson.
Et super te.
Helena Gammon.
Et super te.
Iona Grant.
Et super te.
Eleanor Gudgeon.
Et super te.
Morgan Hart.
Et super te.
Katrina Hepburn.
Et super te.
Emeshogwe Idaiwar.
Et super te.
Elizabeth Johns.
Et super te.
Sinead Keeley.
Et super te.
Amber Khalil.
Et super te.
Josh Lake.
Et super te.
Sophie Lankford.
Et super te.
William Lahose.
Et super te.
Cecily McGregor.
Et super te.
Scott McGregor.
Et super te.
Myrad McSween.
Et super te.
Aidan McCabe.
Et super te.
James McNeil.
Et super te.
Cecilia Maloney.
Et super te.
Mari Mulvaney.
Et super te.
Lesley-Anne Ofe Aboaji.
Et super te.
Gemma Peters.
Et super te.
Connor Phillip.
Et super te.
Laura Rack.
Et super te.
Kate Reed.
Et super te.
David Scott.
Et super te.
Heather Sheriffs.
Et super te.
Beth Simmons.
Et super te.
Dominic Smith Hanratty.
Et super te.
Nicola Somerville.
Et super te.
Edith Telfer.
Et super te.
Aileen Taystorf.
Et super te.
Brendan Vincent.
Et super te.
Scott Wallace.
Et super te.
Callum Faymeyer.
Et super te.
Kirsten Winter.
Et super te.
Alice Younger.
Et super te.
Chancellor, I ask you to confer the degree in absentia on Matthew Garrett, Shahid Hamid, Rusa Harmo.
Eus absentus medicinae baccalaureus, atque chirurgiae baccalaureus renuncio.
Chancellor, I ask you to confer the degree of Master of Science by Research in absentia on Rebecca Grucock.
Eum absentum magistrum scientiae renuncio.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, for a thesis entitled Advanced Mass Spectrometry-Based Characterization of Plasma in the Context of Esophageal Cancer, Obesity, and Metal Protein Interactions, Hasnain Ahmed.
Te ad gradum doctoris philosophiae promoveo, cuius rei in symbolum super te hoc biretum impono.
For a thesis entitled Antimicrobial Photodynamic Therapy Using Organic Light-Emitting Diodes, Rapid Optimization to Advance to Clinical Application, Mariana Leite de Avelar.
Et super te.
For a thesis entitled Genomic Studies of Common Neurodevelopmental Conditions, Krzysztof Mariański.
Et super te.
For a thesis entitled Moving Upstream, Addressing Financial Insecurity as a Key Social Determinant of Health in Primary Care Settings, Andrew Pinto.
Et super te.
Chancellor, I ask you to confer the degree in absentia on Joseph Te Wee Tek.
Eum absentum doctorum philosophiae renuncio. I call upon Professor Peter Donnelly of the School of Medicine.
Chancellor, it is my privilege to present for the degree of Doctor of Medicine honoris causa, Professor Sir Stephen Holgate. Professor Holgate is an outstanding clinical academic whose research, teaching, and clinical work have greatly enhanced the care of people with asthma and viral respiratory diseases globally over the past 5 decades. He is also a very supportive colleague. Sir Stephen is a Medical Research Council clinical professor of immunopharmacology and honorary consultant physician within the Department of Medicine at the University of Southampton. His research has focused on the mechanisms of asthma and allergy, and his work has resulted in over 980 publications. His current research extends to stratified medicine, the role of the epithelium in orchestrating asthma, and the evolution of asthma across a lifetime. During his tenure as a clinical lecturer at the University of Southampton, where he helped start their new medical school, Stephen researched the link between asthma-related fatalities and the overuse of beta-adrenergic bronchodilator inhalers. In 1980, he established a dedicated research group concentrating on the mechanisms of asthma. In the same year, he completed a 2-year postdoctoral fellowship at the Robert Brigham Hospital and Harvard University, supported by an MRC endowment and the Wellcome Trust. In his capacity as a clinical scientist, Stephen has significantly advanced the understanding and treatment of allergic and respiratory diseases, encompassing asthma, COPD, and the critical domain of COVID-19. His impactful contributions transcend disciplinary boundaries, spanning the realms of science, medicine, public health, and policy initiatives, all directed towards enhancing the well-being of patients and society at large. Embodying the essence of a true physician-scientist, he has played a pivotal role in advancing respiratory and environmental health on various fronts, from uncovering novel scientific principles to translating them into more effective therapies for asthma, COPD, and COVID-19. In 2000, Stephen and his team made a groundbreaking research breakthrough by identifying the first asthma gene, ADAM13, 33, which they then reported in the journal Nature in 2001. This particular susceptibility gene has been shown to be linked to airway hyperresponsiveness and remodeling in chronic asthma, revolutionizing the field. Another example of his pioneering scientific approach was in myalgic encephalitis chronic fatigue syndrome, which had long been considered a psychosomatic problem. He set up the CFS-ME Research Collaborative, obtained support from the Medical Research Council and National Institute for Health Research, which led to the delivery of the DECODE ME study. This provided evidence that ME-CFS is a neurological and immunological disease with parallels to long COVID. In 1990, Stephen played a pivotal role in founding the Committee on the Medical Effects of Air Pollutants. He has been president of the British Society of Allergy and Clinical Immunology, the British Thoracic Society, and is currently president of the British Association for Lung Research. He has chaired several committees responsible for generating influential reports aimed at shaping government policies. For example, he made the case that asthma was the principal cause of death in a 9-year-old girl in London who had 27 hospital admissions and died tragically from her asthma. This was the first time air pollution has appeared on a death certificate named as a cause of death. He was a UKRI Clean Air Champion for the UK, helping connect new research in air pollution, and went on to publish 3 Royal College of Physicians reports on the damaging effects of air pollution on health that are shaping policy in this area. Stephen was also the chair of the MRC Population and Systems Medicine Board, the MRC Translational Research Group, and the UK Government Committee on the Medical Effects of Air Pollutants. His affiliations include being a founder member of the Academy of Medical Sciences and council member of the Clinical and Veterinary section of Academia Europaea. Moreover, he acts as a special advisor to the Royal College of Physicians on air quality and is a current member of the National Environment Research Council. In recognition of his outstanding contributions in immunopharmacology, Stephen has garnered numerous honours, including the King Faisal and the J. Allen Taylor International Prizes in Medicine. Notably, in 2011, he was appointed Commander of the Order of the British Empire, CBE, and was knighted in 2020 for services to medical research. Sir Stephen's support for colleagues is well known in the field, and his advice is always freely given and can be a key part in others' success. Chancellor, in recognition of his outstanding contributions in epidemiology and clinical research, I invite you to confer the degree of Doctor of Medicine honoris causa on Professor Sir Stephen Holgate.
te ad gradum doctoris medicinae honoris causa promoveo, cuius rei in symbolum super te hoc biretum impono.
What an amazing, incredible experience for me this has been. And I just want to first of all thank you all for conferring this wonderful opportunity for me to gain some traction within this beautiful university at St Andrews. So thank you so much for that. I also wanted to add my congratulations to the graduates who have worked so hard. I know you have worked really hard, and I could see it on your faces today as you received your degrees. So congratulations. I just have two things to say, really. Firstly, medicine is one of the most wonderful careers one can possibly have, with opportunities around every corner. And by embracing this as a discipline, you are taking a road which will lead to huge challenges but enormous happiness. To achieve this, I think two things need to happen. Firstly, one has to respect that medicine is an art, not just a science. And we are dealing with human beings, even as we see technology rolling ahead of us and trying to change the way we perform. As doctors, we must respect the fact that our patients need human contact, and we must always remember that. And then the second thing, if I may say so, is that if it looks really difficult, it's worth doing. Thank you very much.
I call upon Dr. Rebecca Walmsley of the School of Medicine.
Chancellor, Principal, special guests, colleagues and graduates. Firstly, I would like to start with my congratulations to all our graduates who have worked incredibly hard to be here, and it is so well deserved. Please take a moment to reflect on your achievements, to be proud of yourself, to feel the pride staff have in you and the pride of your families and friends. Much of the advice I can give you sounds obvious, but it is the absolute crux of medicine. In a challenging world, sometimes simple reflections are perhaps the most important. Medicine is a wonderful career with so many different possibilities. After almost 20 years as a clinician, I have never once said or felt I was bored at work. That must be almost unique. But it is a professional vocation, and as with almost anything worthwhile, comes with personal and professional challenge. With the privilege of taking care of people at their most vulnerable comes the responsibility. Therefore, I urge that you keep within your heart the principles of the profession, captured historically in the oath and declaration that we heard earlier in the ceremony. I am sure you will all be able to recall the importance of confidentiality, autonomy, non-maleficence, beneficence, and respect. But when faced with challenge, do not lose sight. With this in mind, I have just 3 key points of advice. Compassion is the key. Compassion for your patients, for your colleagues, and crucially, for yourselves. If you feel it fading, look for the cause. It is often not the patient in front of you. Remember, medics can be harsh internal critics at times. Go easy on yourself. Always remember to believe your patients. Sounds simple. That is, even if the patient's story does not resonate with your own experiences or you cannot on the surface understand. There are many things we are yet to understand, and it is their life and their reality. Embrace teamwork. Medicine has long spanned primary and secondary care, specialties and professions, and our strength lies in how we bring these together. Modern healthcare is at its best when we collaborate, support each other, and work as one team for our patients. Dr. Charlie Coombs, a recently qualified doctor, reflected on the transition from medical school to the foundation years in a poem entitled A New Beginning, The Doctor's Journey. I'm just going to read a portion of that poem to you today. It describes the beginning of the journey you're about to embark on as both uncertain and full of hope. It emphasizes that you do not need to be perfect, but you do need to be present, to care, and to keep growing. For when a healing smile greets morning's sun, and lives are touched by acts of kindness done, the purpose of this toil is crystal clear, to meet each patient's pain with hope sincere. Yet not alone this journey must I wend, for solace blooms, with family, with friend. Their voices lift, their warmth renews my soul, a steady anchor as the seasons roll. Empathy, the cornerstone of care, reminds us all why first we chose to dare to stand within this crucible of strife and bear the sacred charge of guarding life. And as each chapter folds into the next, the journey's meaning ever stands perplexed. A fragile balance where new burdens grow, but seeds of hope in humble hands we sow. Thus life becomes its own perpetual art, each patient's story stitched into the heart. So as you leave here today, remember this: you are ready, not because you know everything, but because you know enough to begin, and because you will continue to learn every day. Be kind, be curious, and above all, be compassionate. Remember, it is often in the quiet acts. Please celebrate your achievements today and beyond. A fantastic career and a wealth of opportunities await. Many, many congratulations.
If you're able, please stand for the benediction.
Oremus. Gratia Domini nostri Iesu Christi, et caritas Dei, et communicatio Spiritus Sancti, sit cum omnibus nobis, in saecula saeculorum. Amen.